mandatory challenger for the EBU title, which is obviously the real European title at cruiserweight, the blue belt. How does it feel to be made European, or to be made mandatory challenger for the European title, which is a very prestigious title?
Well, I've been mandatory since the turn of the year. So the thing was just whether or not I was going to be boxing Lawrence Okolie or somebody else.
Yeah.
So I got into camp on New Year's Eve, like with the European title in mind. So we're working towards that, because obviously it's pre-COVID and that we're going to be fighting early in the year, European title. And so when that hit, Okolie it was like everybody knew Okolie was fighting for the world title, but he hadn't officially vacated. So I didn't know whether he was going to defend it one more time against me or relinquish it. So the news that came during the week is just the confirmation that he's vacating it. But it's good that it's reminded people that I was in the position to fight for the belt, and it's got people talking about me again. It's got me something to like more clear of what's happening with the belt, because before it was kind of like you're mandatory, but we don't know when you're fighting, if you're fighting, blah blah blah. So at least I know now that I'm fighting for a vacant title.
Just all a bit up in the air, wasn't it, before? And you're dead right. And you're dead right. Exactly. You were made mandatory a while ago, but they confirmed the vacant title there the other day, which is good news in itself. But would you have preferred to fight Okolie for the title, or are you kind of happy? I mean, there's a lot of good names there coming through that could challenge for the title. I mean, I was looking at the rankings. I mean, the number one ranked in the EBU ratings is I think his name is Wlodarczyk, Polish guy. I mean, he's a former WBC world champion. I mean, I don't know how likely it is that the likes of himself would fight for the title, but you've got guys like Chris Billam-Smith, who fights tomorrow, who looks to be a possibility for that.
Yeah. Well, if you look at them European rankings, like the top maybe 5, maybe even the top 8 are all like former world champions or on the cusp of fighting for a world title.
Yeah.
So it's highly unlikely that those guys will step back the European level when they're just right there.
Right on the cusp. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And Eddie Hearn said in an interview yesterday. So Eddie Hearn said in an interview, I think it was yesterday, that if Billam-Smith wins at the weekend, he wants to make me and Billam-Smith for the European. So it'd be interesting to see what way he goes at the weekend. And then he's obviously heard that, so he's saying now it's given more added inspiration to win at the weekend.
Big
but then that'll
for
give
him,
the guy who he's fighting, Thorley, he'll be saying, look, if I win this, then he'll take Billam-Smith's spot. So really, it doesn't really matter to me who I'm fighting. Like, I'm focused on winning this next fight, because I believe, based on the history of the European title, you win that, the next fight's a world title. So I'm one win away from, where I want to be, from getting my lifelong ambition.
100%, man. I mean, and you're right there as well. Like, even from my knowledge of what I've seen, like, it's always at the very least a massive stepping stone to that world title level. So even if you weren't to get a title shot directly, you're in with big names. You're right at when you're a European champion, you're deemed to be one of the better fighters, and your world ranking is going to skyrocket as well. So it's definitely like it's a ridiculously valuable belt to have, it would seem. What do you think of Billam-Smith? Like, do you rate him? Because I mean, obviously he's relevant because he's fighting tomorrow. He's looked good. He's under Shane McGuigan, who's a very renowned trainer. Has done a lot of good things, to be fair, with all the guys he's had so far. How do you rate Billam-Smith?
That's it. To be honest with you, I have never really paid much attention to him up until now, because it wasn't really on my radar. And when Eddie said that he's interested in putting me and him on, so I had a look at him and Oh, he's all right. Like nothing special. So
Yeah.
I'll be watching the fights at the weekend here, and
So,
if he comes through it, then obviously I'll give him more thought. But uh, I haven't studied him fully, like, but once as I said, once Eddie said that he was interested in that fight, went and had a look at a couple of one video, and then I sent them the pit and says,
like, I want to touch quickly on the British scene at cruiserweight, because unfortunately in Ireland there isn't much of an Irish scene at cruiserweight,
yeah,
but in Britain it's very strong at the moment.
yeah,
Now I know
very
you've already
good.
touched on, you know, you're going to win this European title and you want to move on, but is there any kind of, not temptation, but like there's a lot of good fights there with potentially, you know, good exposure, maybe good money at the British level there, like the likes of Luke Watkins and kind of guys at that level. Riakporhe rematch maybe, you know, the likes of Chris Billam-Smith, which will possibly be for the European title. So is there
Mm.
any kind of temptation or to kind of stay around that level with the European title when you win it, or is it just no, forget that?
No, there's no, like, them fights are gonna be here always.
Yeah,
So my thing is win the European and then move on and fight chance for a world title and win a world title.
yeah,
But if it doesn't go, like, obviously I don't want it to happen, but say things didn't go my way for the European title, all them fights at the British level are still there.
you're there
So
anyway. Yeah,
like it's like I don't want to look back. I want to get beyond them, and it is a good thing. But like if the money was good, obviously you would take it. But I want to be a world champion. Like
yeah.
I've never had interest of being a British champion or anything like that. I don't want to be world champion.
So is the idea that, you know, you want to push, like, you're not thinking you want to push to that world title as quickly as possible. So there's no
Yeah,
thinking, well, a rematch with Riakporhe is a high level fight. It would be a very good win to get, and it's another kind of stepping stone towards the
yeah,
level of world title level. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
But like React for instance, is he's British champion and he's highly ranked with the WBA.
Yeah,
So say he has to defend against Dion Juma next.
yeah,
Say he beats Juma, like I would say he'd be in lane to fight for a WBA title. There's three belts in the WBA,
yeah,
so he'll get a shot at 1 a.m.
yeah,
I'm like more than certain that he'll get a shot at 1 a.m. WBAs, and then definitely I want to fight him again because like I've spoken on this before. I took that fight at 2 weeks' notice and was underprepared and underestimated him and paid the price. So
yeah,
I would love to, you know, set the record straight now because I know I'll beat him like
yeah,
any other time. It was just and it's all good saying it. It's all on the net and he done it on the net. But I
yeah.
would love to get, uh
The chance to
run it
right
back.
that wrong and
Yeah,
such, like,
yeah.
yeah. But the
But as I
fact
say, I want.
those factors are important as well. You know, I mean, it sounds,
Yeah,
people think excuses, but the thing is, a high level sport, if you prepare only for 2 weeks for a fight and you underestimate the guy, you have a disadvantage. Then
exactly.
it's up to you as the fighter not to do those things where
Yeah.
possible, but it still factors in the outcome of the fight. So 100%. But I suppose Okolie would be a target. No, I mean,
Yeah, so
or the
that
winner of him and Blavatsky.
that would be the natural one, and it would be easy to make. I win the European, he wins the WBO, bang, first defense against me.
100%.
Like that would be like unreal.
Yeah,
So,
for both.
but when you're talking about the British scene, like I don't even class Okolie as that because he's like beyond it.
He's past it now.
So
Yeah,
yeah, so but him being a British world champion, me being an Irish European champion, like Ireland v England always gets the fans going and the exposure would be mad here if we had it in Belfast or we had it in London. No,
100%.
it would just it's a high profile fight